So, my name is Tina, and I'm representing Western Washington University. We are in the Pacific Northwest within the state of Washington. So, we're located in a wonderful city called Bellingham. So, the Northwest and specifically the state of Washington has a long-standing tradition of being leaders in the environment and environmental sustainability. So, what better way to study that in a university and community that is a worldwide leader. So Bellingham is located an hour and a half north of Seattle. So although we are a good distance from Seattle, you're not compromising or giving up all the fun things to do there. Bellingham's really known for being a leader in sustainability. So we have a really strong, really robust public transportation system that can get you from the Seattle airport all the way up to Bellingham. And the city itself has a really wonderful local public transportation program with our city buses. You see lots of trails and of course lots of bicycle lanes. So Bellingham is a sustainability leader. It's also an outdoor lover's paradise. So we are right on the coast. So we welcome people who love the outdoors, whether that's water sports like sailing or kayaking, or of course the mountains. Here's some wonderful images of downtown Bellingham. Western is a university of the environment. We are a sustainable campus. It's the heart of what we do. It's definitely a mission and a value of ours. So in addition to offering over 200 academic programs, we also offer a number of sustainability programs as well. Before I jump into those, here's just some examples of how we are basically taking action on being sustainable leaders. One of my favorite things to point out is that on our campus, you won't find any disposable water bottles. We don't sell those. Our students for sustainability petition to have those removed from campus. So you see lots of water refill stations around our campus. I also love that we've been purchasing 100% renewable energy since our students, again, these are students who are activists, who are voices on our campus, voted for that in 2004. So our students really are our leaders, and I love that our university administration listens to them. So as far as academic programs, I love talking about our Huxley College of the Environment, one of the oldest environmental colleges in the country. So if you're looking to study one of the many environmental science or environmental studies degree, we have many options to choose from. So I'm happy to give you more information on those, but they're listed here. And we also have different academic majors. We offer over 200 academic majors, but specifically we're talking about sustainability majors. So there's a number of them here. Urban planning and sustainable development is found within our Huxley College, as well as urban sustainability. We also have a really wonderful interdisciplinary type program that combines sustainability within the Huxley College of the Environment, but also business. So we have our Business College of Economics. So if you're interested in the intersection of both of those, we have a couple of degree options available for you for there. So it's really neat to get a degree where you're part of different colleges and to really have that mix. Also really special about Western is that we have our Institute for Energy Studies. And again, this is a multi-college collaboration, interdisciplinary focus that combines different academic areas. So for example, energy policy and management works alongside, again, our Huxley College and our Business College. There's also a couple of academic minors. So that's more like a concentration versus like a full major that you could choose to. And then we have an energy certificate, which I think is wonderful to really keep your options open. So maybe you're more interested in, or maybe you're also interested in creative writing or theater or pre-med, but you also have a passion for energy and sustainability. You can get an energy certificate in that as well. More outdoor stuff and just some popular majors here. And then we also have a sustainable living residence hall community at our Fairhaven College. So not only can you study that academically, but you can live it too and meet other peers and live in a sustainable living community in our Fairhaven dorms. So I think that's pretty neat too. So kind of just do that as an overview, and I definitely want to let my colleague from Prescott jump in too, and see how we want the rest of this presentation to go.
Cool. Thanks so much. I'm going to take over. I'm going to share my screen, tell you a little bit about Prescott College, and then maybe we can just like answer some questions and see what questions y'all have about sustainability or majors or what it looks like to be a sustainable college. My name is Annie McGarry. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions for Prescott College. We're a small liberal arts college. We're located in Prescott, Arizona. So kind of smack dab between Flagstaff and Phoenix, for those who are familiar, 5,000 elevation. So it's very similar to the climate in like the Denver metro area, just way less snow. Temperatures range anywhere from 30 to 90. 277 days of sunshine per year. There's about 45,000 people that live in the city of Prescott. So Prescott itself is a pretty small city, but like I said, it's really close, about an hour and a half from both Phoenix and then Flagstaff, about 2 hours from the Grand Canyon. So we're really pretty centrally located, easy to get everywhere. And it's gorgeous. So some things about Prescott College. We were founded in the 60s with a model in environment and social justice. So we have always been environmentally focused. It's one of the things that you'll find across our campus. But the big thing for Prescott is experiential hands-on learning. So career focused, self-directed, is kind of like how our curriculum is placed. Students learn through essays and projects and presentations in discussion-based classrooms. So there's no lectures. Most students aren't sitting like learning from a PowerPoint, which is great. Students spend about 80% of their time like outside of the classroom. So you're taking what you're applying in classroom into real world situations. So job shadowing and interning are definitely huge parts of the Prescott College education. We have a 7-to-1 student faculty ratio. There's only 350 students in our on-campus undergraduate students. So we're like a little micro college, but we do offer bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and PhD, a PhD program as well. So all 3 degrees can be offered through Prescott College. So a little bit about our majors. We have about 12 actual areas of study, but I like to think of them as umbrellas because under each one, you really have anywhere from like 5 to 10 different emphases. So, within environmental studies, there's marine studies, there's conservation biology, there's wildlife biology. And so there's so many different options that you can really like focus on within each one of these. So it's not as limiting as it might look. The other degrees that we offer that are specific to sustainability is sustainability management, sustainable community development, and then a sustainable food systems program. We do offer a bachelor's of science or a bachelor's of arts for the environmental studies and sustainable food system programs. All of the other rest of our degrees are offered as bachelor's of arts programs. The other cool thing is that we have an accelerated master's program. So this is cool because it basically means that you're graduating with a master's and a bachelor's in 5 years. So you start taking your master's level coursework your senior year, and it just kind of saves you some money, saves you some time, and allows you to get that master's degree as well. So I broke down some of the classes that we offer through these different sustainability programs specifically before I jump more into kind of like our campus and how we practice sustainability through the campus itself. And I picked the ones, I just kind of went through our advising document and picked the classes that one sounded interesting, but 2 then of course were like related to the program. Sustainability management is going to be for students who are thinking that they maybe want to go into entrepreneurship, own their own business that has some sort of sustainability model in it or value in it. It is also for students who are interested in maybe consulting for larger businesses or organizations that are trying to maybe become more sustainable. It might also be for a student who is looking for to work for a company that might have a sustainability like section in it, right? And so it really can be any one of those, but is going to be much more like business related. So it is the closest that we have to a business degree at Prescott College. It is going to include some marketing and some management and some leadership. The only thing it doesn't include is any finance really, but there's some like research and statistics that you'll take in there as well. But really just trying to give you that holistic view of what this program could look like. And then for the Sustainable Community Development Program, this is really for students who are interested in how do we create a more sustainable community, either within your small community that you have or within the greater world, right? And so our push really is for our students to be change makers. We want them to make the changes that we need to see, both on the small scale, but also on a large scale. And so these are some of the courses that we offer through the Sustainable Community Development. And remember, these are just like snapshots of only a few of the courses that we offer. So there's tons more that are in here as well. And then in sustainable food systems, we're looking at, again, a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor's of Science. And this program might be focused more on, you know, like agroecology, right? Like, or where is our food coming from, and how do we then get more food to the masses without as much waste as we have? Because that's one of the big things right now that our students are focusing on. It might also focus again more on also like the nutrition part of it, right? Holistic health and the nutrition. So there's a lot of options again in terms of what your emphasis or what your focus might be on within sustainable food systems. And then these are just a couple of the courses that you could take within that course. Tons of travel opportunities at Prescott College. The only thing that I'm going to mention on here is Eco League, because I think it's a really neat opportunity. I think that 350 students can sometimes feel a little small, but through these domestic consortiums that we're a part of, you can go and study at 18 other schools. And so it really gives you the opportunity to expand your faculty and expand your community. And it doesn't cost you anything extra, which I love. Eco League specifically is a consortium of 6 schools. Northland, Dickinson, New College of Florida, College of the Atlantic, and Alaska Pacific make up these 6 schools. And through us, you can go to any one of these schools for a semester or for a year. We all have some sort of sustainability or environmental model within us. And so again, like those schools are focused on it. So if this is something that interests you, Eco League might be a really great option. So that way you can really just, again, expand that faculty. So housing. We do have housing on campus, and I love and I'm so proud of our campus for a couple of reasons. And I've waited till this slide to tell you about it because we have 2 LEED Platinum buildings on campus, and our housing unit is one of those buildings. It provides enough solar energy that it actually provides energy for the entire campus, which is super cool. There's enough solar panels on the top of it. And then another neat feature is that it actually has like water that runs in between the walls. And so as the sun shifts throughout the day, the water shifts and it heats and helps to cool and heat the building. So just some really super cool sustainability measures that went into the building of the townhomes. And there are other buildings that are on campus. We've only built 2 buildings on campus. All the others have been repurposed. So just again, like leading in towards our sustainability. We have 15 different clubs and organizations on campus. And those include the Green Mountain Center for Sustainability. So we do have a specific center on campus for students. It's a club, but it is also meant to be like for research and job opportunities and a resource for students who are interested in really like getting their hands dirty into sustainability. So that's one option. There's also a composting club. So we do have 2 live different composts on campus for students to participate in, as well as a garden as well. So that's really fun. And I'm going to leave it there so that way we can answer any questions. I'll stop sharing. What questions might you have? You can feel free to either type them into the chat if you want to, or you can also unmute. Either way is totally fine.
We were just taking in all of that information for a minute. But one of the things I guess I'm kind of curious about is what common careers you could take from some of that like environmental based learning.
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think it totally depends on the student and like where you're focused in. So if you're thinking wildlife conservation or wildlife biology, marine studies and conservation, anything kind of like related to the environmental studies field, that can lead you into so many different careers. So you could end up working for an organization like a nonprofit organization that maybe is specifically dedicated to figuring out how we're like cleaning up the oceans, right? Like that might be one way. You might be working for the Parks and Recreation Service. A ton of our students who graduate with degrees in wildlife conservation work for the Park Service. And that's just like across the United States, of course, in Arizona, but just across the United States in general. Do you want to jump in as well, Tina, and see? And I don't want to take up the whole space.
I would agree with that. It just really depends on your area. I mean, if you have a more environmental science research background, yeah, you can go into a lot of careers are conservation based at different levels of government very often. So whether it's city, state, or the government level. If you're more on the policy side, that could look at the government level again, or in the nonprofit sector, which there are many nonprofit environmental organizations here. We also have like an environmental education type degree. So a lot of students will work in that field as an environmental educator, working with usually they're smaller nonprofit based organizations, whether they're based, for like students for the Salish Sea here on the water, or maybe up in the North Cascades. So it just varies on where you want to land on that spectrum of environmental and sustainability. If you're more on the policy kind of people and systems and the law side, or on the scientific doing conservation efforts and research side. So yeah. It's pretty big, pretty broad spectrum.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think that I'm going to speak for Prescott, but I believe that Western Washington is the same way. So, but correct me if I'm wrong. Like through and a huge important part of your undergrad education is interning and job shadowing. So that way you can figure out exactly like which direction is it that you want to go, right? And are you leaning more towards environmental, or are you leaning more towards sustainability? It doesn't have to be an either or. It can absolutely be an and, but it's just kind of figuring out which one is best suited towards you. And the best way to do that is through job shadowing and interning and really like getting that field experience. And so no matter where you end up going, or like no matter what you end up having a degree in, going to career services at any university and speaking with your career services person and just saying like, I think that this is what I want to do. I'd like to try to find a summer internship or job shadow with somebody. And most likely they'll be able to help you get that set up. And then that way you can say like, yes, this is it for me, or no, I want to try something in more of the like sustainability realm, or the environmental law or policy versus the conservation part. So I would definitely recommend that for sure.
I guess I had a question about how, like, what the main key differences are between studying more of the sustainability side and the environmental side at both places, and how that would affect like courses, or how you can specify in the future.
Yeah, so at Prescott College, they're pretty much related. We separated out the sustainability programs because there are classes that are specific to them, like environmental law and policy, that you may not do through environmental studies specifically. Prescott College is a very interdisciplinary education model. So no matter which side, like whether it's conservation or whether it's sustainability, no matter which side you kind of land on, a lot of your classes are going to be like intertwined together, and they're offered across all of the programs. Thanks for joining, guys. So you don't really have to pick and choose at Prescott College. I think when it comes to like the career options, well, okay. And then I guess like I'll just back up and say like our sustainability programs, as you saw, are like, one is focused on management. So you're going to take more leadership and business related classes through that program. In community development, you're going to take more courses that are specific to community development. You'll have to participate in our ecosystem semester, where you're working basically with it's like an actual live project, and you're actually creating like a total design plan for a real building that has a client attached to it. So that is different than a student who might be interested in conservation biology. That student might be spending time out in the field, actually taking like ecology samples and seeing how this fire has affected this area and any of its regrowth, right? Or like mudslides in that area after the fact. So I think that it just totally depends on which part of it interests you. But the biggest difference between like in sustainability is there are multiple factors that make up sustainability, right? And it's economics, it's social, it's the environment. And so when we're looking at sustainability as a whole, it's this like big picture of creating something better for the future. And environmental studies might focus more on like one particular, I don't want to say problem, issue, one particular issue, right? Within that like greater, bigger view. So I think that and then I think that's also going to just totally depend on the college, right? Like, but we're super interdisciplinary. So you can take a little bit of everything, no matter which area of study you go into. Yeah.
That was very well put. Yeah, kind of like a complicated question to answer, but I think that was summed up pretty well. And then what I will say for Western is that our both programs are pretty interconnected as well. So like our Institute for Energy Studies and our sustainability focused programs all have some connection to the Huxley College of the Environment. So it's really hard to, at least at Western and probably other universities or colleges, it's really hard to tease those apart. So at Western, they're very much connected.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that I don't really have any questions. I feel like your program was pretty comprehensive and satisfied my needs. So thank you.
Glad to hear it. Yes, go ahead. Yeah, definitely. Just go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, well, I'm pretty much out of questions as well. I was just going to ask Tina if you could review how at Western Washington, if you could just go over it again, how like the different colleges or the different institutes and everything work together, like what they are.
Yeah, I can do that. Let me pull up my slide just because, again, I'm a visual learner, and so I just like to kind of see the things that I'm talking about here. It's going a little slow. I think my internet is getting tired. Well, basically, so Western Washington University, it's a liberal arts university. We offer over 200 majors, and they're organized through 7 colleges. And so one of the colleges is the Huxley College of the Environment. And so within that college, we have a number of degrees that have a sustainability focus. But again, it's housed within the Huxley College of the Environment. So it also has that environmental sustainability cohesion or connection. also within the Huxley College of the Environment, we have an Institute for Energy Studies. So if folks are interested in energy sustainability, renewable energy, they can either choose an academic major that focuses on that, or choose that as an academic minor. And so if you're a Huxley student, you're still part of Western Washington University. That's just where your major is located in. So that's where like the majority of your classes are going to be within the Huxley building. You're going to get your degree from Western Washington University. It's just that you're part of that college, just like a marketing student would be part of the College of Business, and a psychology student would be part of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. And then it's just really neat also that the university as a whole definitely has a lot of sustainable characteristics and features, as well as a number of different like clubs you can join. Whether your major is an environment or sustainable focused major, or maybe that's just something that you want to do or be a part of as a sort of hobby or in your free time. So that's sort of the connection between those programs and the university as a whole. Did that help answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you. All right, well, thank you so much. I'm gonna leave, but this was very nice and lots of information. Thank you.
And then there were two.
I know.
Hey, at least we actually had people this time.
Yeah, that was a little, I wasn't sure what was going on the first time. So thanks for jumping in there and helping just last session.
Yeah, so exciting. I'm so glad we actually had people.
Well, it was nice meeting you in this
Yeah.
world, and
Yeah.
I hope you have able to relax on the Sunday. So.
I know, it's kind of crazy. I like, for some reason, I totally forgot that I had signed up for the presentation part. So originally I was like, yeah, 11 to 1, it'll be fine. And then when I like started getting all the emails, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. But it's fine. It's good.
All right. Well,
Enjoy your day.
have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello again.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. I got the boy here
Oh, awesome.
back, so I thought I'd let him hear a little bit about Prescott just because it sounds so cool for him.
Totally. Yeah. Well, and I'm so sorry. Western Washington was just here, but they've now left. So it's just me again.
That's fun though. I like this one-on-one thing.
Okay, great. So let me get back to my screen share real quick here. Okay. Okay, so Prescott College, we are a small liberal arts college. We're in Prescott, Arizona. I don't know how much your mom already shared with you, but just some highlights, and then that way we can like really dive like more deeply into the programs themselves. But we have 4 seasons. Our temperatures range from 30 to 90. We're in central Arizona, so 5,000 elevation. We don't get as much snow as Colorado does, but it's pretty much the same climate year round, which is great. Pretty small city, 45,000 people are in the town of Prescott. And then there's another adjoining city that has another like 50,000. So almost 100 there in total, but and all the amenities that you might be looking for from a college town. We're centrally located in the city of Prescott. So we're just like blocks away from downtown, walking and biking distance to everything. The college itself also has like transportation that'll take you. So if it's like raining or snowing or anything like that, and you have just like a bike or are planning to walk to the grocery store, we do have like a van system that will run for students on days of bad weather and stuff like that. So our big focus is on experiential education, very hands-on, very much self-directed learning. Our students spend about 70 to 80% of their time actually outside of the classroom, really applying what they're learning in class then to real world situations. Sometimes that means that you're like literally in a field, especially if you're going through the sustainability program and you're interested in like you're taking an agroecology course or something along that nature. That might mean that you're like literally in a field at that moment, but it also means job shadowing and interning and real life experiences that go towards that resume to complement your degree. We have a 7-to-1 student faculty ratio. Our classes are maxed at 14 always. So even if you're in a freshman class or a senior level class, either way, the max amount of students is 14 in there. We only have 350 students on our campus. So we're a little small micro college, but with lots and lots to offer. So our size doesn't keep us down. Areas of study. So we have about 12 different areas of study for students to choose from, 4 that are focused within environmental studies and sustainability. So somebody interested in environmental studies might have their emphasis or focus be wildlife conservation, wildlife biology, zoology. It might be marine studies or marine conservation. And we do offer a bachelor's of arts or a bachelor's of science through our environmental studies program. We also offer a sustainability management program and a sustainable community development program, and then sustainable food systems, which is either a bachelor of arts or a bachelor's of science as well. All of these 4 programs can of course also be coupled with any of our others. So I mean, just based off of your awesome like little picture of, I'm assuming that that's you rock climbing, adventure education might end up being your minor, right? Like maybe there is some like world-class rock climbing that takes place in Prescott. I'm not going to pretend to know anything about it because it's not my thing, but it is our students' thing. And so there is a club, there are tons of classes that take place, and it is kind of just something that our students love to go and do on the weekends. So you know, maybe that ends up being your minor or something along those lines. So just know that all students choose a major and a minor. They can be related, but they don't have to be. So there's lots of options in there. So I broke down, I went through our like advising documents and I pulled out some of the classes that were related to the sustainability major specifically that I thought were just like sounded really cool and would, you know, of course, help you to understand kind of like what this program looks like. So sustainability management is going to be for a student who's interested in entrepreneurship. Maybe they want to own their own business that has some sort of focus on sustainability. Maybe they want to be a consultant for businesses who are trying to become more green or more sustainable. Maybe they are wanting to work for an organization or company that already has their foot kind of in the door and they want to direct or run that program. So those are kind of some options through this program. This is going to be the closest program we have to a business program. So this is where you're going to find your management and leadership courses, your marketing courses. You know, that'll include like social media and like the power of engagement and all that kind of stuff. So that is what we do in the sustainability management program. The way that our programs work is that students aren't given a list of courses that you have to take in order to graduate with a certain degree. Instead, we say, okay, well, you're interested in sustainability management specifically because you want to go into consulting. about, you know, you want to like help companies become more green or more sustainable. So then through all of that, we then help you determine what courses would make the most sense for you to take, right? Like maybe taking a risk management course would make sense, but also taking the psychology of consumerism would be really important. So there's so many different options for you to choose from. And we want to make sure that you're picking the courses that really interest you, and go towards the degree that you're looking for, that will at the end really enable you to have this degree to go into a working world and really be a professional, and know what you're doing within the career path that you've chosen. So you're going to self-design this degree with a faculty advisor. You do it with them so that way you graduate in 4 years, but we want to make sure that the degree that you're getting is really personalized to you. All of our students learn through essays, projects, presentations. It's all Socratic seminar based, so there's no lectures. We're really an essay-based school. So our faculty really focus on like creating that portfolio by the end of the semester, and not necessarily like a final where you're going to recite what you've memorized onto a Scantron or whatever. So our tests are given by like short answer, and otherwise everything else is done through like creating this portfolio, is really how our students learn. So the other program that I broke down is our Sustainable Community Development Program. So this might be for students who are really interested in focusing on creating a more sustainable community, either within their little local community or, in the greater good across the world. Our students come to Prescott College because they want to be change makers. They want to be the difference in the world. And so we help them do that through this program. A part of Sustainable Community Development is going to be our ECOSA program. This is a super neat partnership that we have with ECOSA. And students get to work on a real live project. So ECOSA has different clients that they work with that are creating sustainable buildings. And as a student with Prescott College, you get to participate in that ECOSA program and help to create this building. Basically, you come up with the plans for it, all the sustainability measures for it. And so you do that. It's a 1 or 2 semester program that you can do through our Sustainable Community Development Program. So that's really cool. And then sustainable food systems is going to be a focus on like, where is our food coming from? How do we get more/better food to the masses? So it's really going to take into account like agriculture, agroecology. It's also going to include some holistic health. Maybe you're more interested in like the nutrition part of it. So there's a lot of different options within sustainable food systems. And this one, again, is offered as a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor's of Science. So you do have the different options there.
I meant to ask you before, but do you have other programs other than sustainability, or are you strictly a school that specializes in sustainability as a?
No, yeah, we have 12 programs in total. So sorry, I don't want to give you whiplash as I go back here, but I separated these 4 because that's what the topic of this little session was. But we also have adventure education, arts and humanities, arts and letters, cultural regional studies, which has been changed to social justice studies, education, human development and psychology, and then interdisciplinary studies.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so we have tons of travel opportunities through Prescott College, both internationally and domestically, but I'm going to kind of focus on the domestic one here for a minute, just because I think that it's such a neat opportunity. And so we know that 350 is small. We know that it might seem limiting. And so we have become a part of these 2 consortiums, and we've been a part of them for years. So Eco League specifically is a consortium of 6 schools. It's us, Northland, Dickinson, New College of Florida, College of the Atlantic, and Alaska Pacific. And we all have some sort of model in the environment and sustainability, some kind of focus on it. And so each school focuses on something a little bit different. Northland is very into solar energy, and so each school is a little bit different in how they focus that effort, but we all have some sort of it in through EcoLeague. So it's a really great way to just expand your faculty, expand your community, take classes at another university, and then those classes transfer directly to Prescott Colleges if you've been a student with us the entire time. It doesn't cost you anything additional. Your scholarships stay the same. So really, like, I mean, it's a huge benefit without it being like a huge cost, which is awesome. I saved this for this part because we're so proud of our housing on campus. And so we have 2 LEED certified buildings on campus. One of them is our housing unit, and it's actually LEED Platinum certified. So we're just like so obsessed with it. We've only built 2 buildings on the campus. So the village and then our like common area, basically. So the library, classrooms, and then the cafe is another LEED building. It's LEED Silver certified. But the cool thing about our housing unit is that it actually provides enough solar energy for the entire campus. And so we run on solar, which I think is super cool. It also has water that runs between the walls. And so as the sun moves throughout the day, the water moves back and forth to help heat and cool the units. They still have air conditioning and heating in them because it's Arizona and it can get really hot or it can get really cold. But at least we're trying to like help with the use of those by these other sustainability efforts. So just a couple of things. 90% of the plants that are planted in here are edible, which is also super cool. So there's just like a ton of really neat options for students to take in. There's on campus, there's 15 different clubs that we have on campus and organizations. We have a live compost, well, 2 live composts actually, and that is a club that students have started. So there's like a composting club that you can be a part of. We also have the Green Mountain Center for Sustainability on campus, and that is a true center in that it is meant for research opportunities, it is meant for internship opportunities, it is meant to be a resource to students who are either like very involved in sustainability or are just wanting to kind of find out more and kind of get their feet wet in it. And so the Green Mountain Center for Sustainability is on our campus, and you can participate in that as a student at any year, freshman or senior, it doesn't matter. So those are just like some of the other ways that we also have an on-campus garden as well. We have 4 on-campus gardens as well that are all student run. So you have lots of options. We also have a creek restoration club. It is also a class. So there's lots of options there as well. And then this is like my contact information here, which I'm just going to put in the chat real quick. And then that way I can answer any questions that you might have.
If you could go back to that last page that kind of looked at tuition, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you a senior this year?
Yeah, I am.
Cool. Where do you go to school?
Battle Mountain High School.
Nice.
Which is in Vail, Colorado.
Yeah, cool. I think that I maybe last year or the year before I had a student come from Battle Mountain, so I'm familiar with it, but cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So it does not show tuition on here, but our tuition is 34. We don't do inter out of state tuition. It's the same for everybody, but we have some awesome scholarships. So our scholarships range from 15 to 25,000 depending on your GPA. So it's 15, 17, 22, and 25 are like the scale of how they go down. So kind of depending on like where your GPA falls. We will look at final transcripts. So if you're right on the cusp between, if you got like a 3.7 or 3.8 and you're able to bump it up to a 3.9 by your final transcript, we'll give you the $25,000 scholarship, even if you've been accepted with a lower scholarship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So we'll bump you up if you're able to get that GPA up. It doesn't go the other way. So if you have, you know, a 3.8 GPA and you slack off the last semester of your senior year, and so now like we're not going to look at it to see like if you get a lower scholarship. It's always to the benefit of the student. So we're only looking to increase it if we can. It
Do
is.
you mind putting up that screen again? Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You
I'm
had
looking
that
at
up
it.
before, that was-
I like looking at it thinking that you guys.
Oh.
Sorry, 1 second. Let me reshare. There we go. Sorry.
Cool.
Okay, so the scholarships right here, and it's stackable with all other need-based aid that you might be eligible through the FAFSA. The FAFSA opened on Friday. So we always recommend students complete it because yes, there's like federal aid, but there's also Prescott College additional grants and scholarships that are available to you through the FAFSA. So I recommend those. And then we also have like endowment scholarships that you can apply for. So we're always trying to, you know, bring our tuition costs down as much as possible for students, to make it as affordable as possible. So.
I had a question, being that it's a pretty small school, like I'm wondering about your retention rate and like how many students come and find it's not the right fit because it's too small, or are most people happy there once they decide to go there?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when we look at retention rates, we have to remember that they're only for first-time freshmen. And I say this because we're about 45% transfer. So we actually have 45% of our students on campus that transfer in from other universities because they go somewhere else and realize it's not their fit. And so they're coming to Prescott College to finish those degrees. So our retention rate is a little over 40%. I think it's like 44 or 45, but our graduation rate is over 50. I believe that it's at 53.
So some people come, find it's not the right place for them and leave, but then once they
Yeah.
stay, they're.
Yeah, we get a lot of students who also come back, which is really interesting. So they leave and then they try something else and they're like, nope, just kidding. And then they come back, which is also really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
But in general, we accept about 90% of students. So, I mean, in general, because of our like non-traditional, very like niche education model, it's very self-selective. So for the most part, the students who are choosing us, and aren't, how do I say this? Some students choose Prescott because they think that it sounds really cool.
Mhm.
And they're not fully like, they don't have the parental support to help them think through all of the things. And so they just like make the decision and then they get to Prescott and they realize, oh, like, no, this like really isn't the right thing for me. Or I really want to be a part of Greek life, or because we don't have Greek life, right? Like,
Right.
so it's, there's that, or it's that they decide that they want to change their major and they want to go into something healthcare related. Like we don't have any, the closest we get is holistic health. So, in that regard, then students leave because we don't support the major that they're looking to then change to. Yeah. And I would definitely also I mean, I've been with Prescott now for 4 years and our retention rate has done nothing but grow. And there's a couple of reasons for that. So, the first is because we added a core curriculum. And so students take this core curriculum class, they take one each year that they're a student. So 1 through 4, basically. And it's meant to help them move through each year in a way that helps them graduate and retain. And so because our education model is so free, we've had to make it so that it's free, but there's also some like support there. And so we've just really honestly changed how we help students with their degree planning, because oftentimes they were taking classes in so many different areas that they weren't able to graduate because they were like taking much longer to graduate. And so, or leaving because they got offered this like their amazing dream job in adventure education that didn't require a bachelor's degree. And so we've now like made changes in our curriculum to help those students retain and stay through at Prescott College. And so every year our retention rate has has continued to just go up and up and up. So, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that our students in general are really, and even then, like, it'll be interesting to see, because I think that the rates right now are coming from 2018. So that's kind of a long time. I mean, like, then that's just across the board for all colleges. So we're coming into a year now where they're going to like update all those statistics. And so it'll be great to see kind of like where our numbers are at that point. We've been in person throughout all of COVID. And so even last fall, our students, it was so important for them to be back in person and be back in the classroom, because our students learn best in person, right? Like, they're not the students that want to learn online. And so even through all of COVID, they were able to be back in person. We had 0 COVID spread around campus. So they did a great job staying safe and keeping each other healthy. And so far, so good this fall as well. Everyone on campus, again, 0 COVID spread so far. So they're doing a great job.
Great.
Yeah. You can apply.
Your time is up. Can you talk about one other thing? I think you talked about where you can do another year and do the master's degree.
Yeah, definitely. So we offer a accelerated master's degree. It's through, so you apply for it your junior year, you start taking your master level courses your senior year. So you're kind of like finishing up your senior project in the undergrad side and starting your master's degree coursework at the same time. We've been doing this for a very long time, so we make sure that students aren't overwhelmed by like the dual enrollment parts of it. Most students try to get their senior project completed by the end of their junior year, or like over the summer. But basically you're completing a bachelor's and master's degree in 5 years. We offer our master's degree. So we offer all of these programs at the master's degree level, as well as a couple of others. So we offer an MBA through our master's degree. We also offer like an MS in counseling and some additional master's degree programs, but you can definitely get a master's degree in any one of these 12 programs as well. So yeah. Yep.
Anything else, Hayden?
Not really. It seemed to answer all my questions.
Okay, awesome. Well, I put in my email into the chat, so feel free to reach out to me if you have any additional questions. I don't think that I'm making it up to Vail this fall. At least I don't have any plans to yet. But definitely reach out if you have any questions.
And we'll be in Arizona in November, so we might swing on by.
Yeah, please do. We are doing on-campus tours. So if you want to, you can definitely come for a personalized tour, sit in on a classroom, talk with some faculty, or we do a couple of like change maker days. So it's kind of like a preview day, and they have it on Saturdays. But so either way, you can come by.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy your day, guys.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.